Well, ladies and gentlemen, just give us a few minutes. We're just waiting for all the participants to log in and be here in just a few minutes. So again, everybody, please stay tuned. We are online in just a few minutes, just waiting for some more participants to log in, and we'll start soon. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let me give a very warm welcome to all of you here at Hannover Messe 2021, the digital edition. And of course, as well, welcome to our third guided tour here at our Hannover Messe. It's good to have you here. I am Bernhard Spitzenberg, and I'm going to be your host for the next hour. Together with my colleagues Yvonne Schulz and Mareile Gödecke, I'm very happy to see how many people are joining us today. We had about 180 persons logged in, and so welcome to you audience again. Our topic today is technologies for the digitization of production. It is one of the major topics of Hannover Messe, and we have 4 well-known exhibitors dealing with this one with us today. They will show us their ideas of future of industry in a brief presentation, and they are happy to answer your questions afterwards. So you may ask your questions via our chat function on the right-hand side if you like. But now let me introduce you to our speakers today. It is number 1, ServiceNow, Mr. Heimann. Welcome at our guided tour.
Thank you.
It is on second, HCL, Mr. Pachmarai. Welcome to you as well. Number 3, Formlabs, Mr. Kervaux. Welcome to our guided tour. And number 4, Viewframe, Mr. Zeitler. Welcome to you as well. It's good to have you here. Thank you in advance for your presentations. But before handing over to our first speaker, just let me point out some rules for today. Number 1, please mute your microphone. You know this from all the video calls you had in the past days. And number 2, please switch off your camera as well for a better network connection for us all. Please remember at 3, you are not allowed to copy, to record, or to do any screenshots of our session today. If there's any question you would like to ask to the speakers, feel free to use our chat function on the right-hand side. And one last tip before we start, if you're interested in getting in contact with one of our speakers all the companies presenting today, just use our business dating service on our platform hannovermesse.de. You will find all the speakers today there as well, and you may get in contact with them directly in a private video call. Well then, let's go on and start with our first speaker. Mr. Heimann, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. Spitzenberg. Yes, herzlich willkommen. Welcome from my side. My name is Jan Heimann. I'm Senior Manager Solution Consulting for the manufacturing and automotive industry in Germany, part of the global manufacturing industry teams. I'm working for ServiceNow, and I don't know, most of you probably know ServiceNow, especially yesterday we had our CEO doing one of the keynotes, Bill McDermott, ex-CEO from SAP. We are the workflow company. We are the workflow company for the modern enterprise. Today, I want to talk a little bit with you about what ServiceNow can do for manufacturing, especially in terms of connecting all these things and helping you with all the struggles that comes up with digitalization of your production. Before we start into the content, I just want to give you a small hint on upcoming sessions. Today, as part of Hannover's Messe conference program, and in the Industrial Transformation channel, we have at 5:15 today, Supply Chain Resilience. There we present together with IBM, one of our partners, Toyota, one of our customers, and us, the topic supply chain resilience, how ServiceNow together with IBM helps Toyota to make the supply chain more resilient. Then we have two live streams coming up a little bit earlier. At 2:30, we have quality inspection. That's an engagement we have with our partner Atos, and enterprise service management with ServiceNow. And then we have at 3:30 field service management. One part where I will only touch shortly today, but one very interesting part of our One Digital platform. Yeah, why are we here? Why are we talking about digitalization? And because there is on all of you, there is a big transformation imperative. So digitalization, everybody is speaking about this, and it's not there without a reason. There are a lot of external factors that are forcing the industry to digitize. There's, of course, upcoming Industry 4.0. Your machinery and manufacturing equipment is getting more intelligence, is talking to each other, is being connected, but you have to deal with it. You have to integrate this in your day-to-day life. COVID-19, of course, hit you with the workforce and all different things with the work related to the workforce, but also it make our supply chains much more showed how fragile our supply chains are and how they impact the production. And of course, based on that, supply chain resilience is a topic that's coming more up onto the table. Then we have workflow changes, and sorry for the small typo here. We have a changing workflow all over. And of course, we have servitization. Servitization, what does that mean? Our product or your product, as well as our product, because our product was always a service, but your products are really changing from a product that you ship and sell once to more service because customers are expecting that. Yeah, we have some numbers based on some marketing, on some research companies. Of course, digitalization can help you making things faster, making things cheaper. But if I want to highlight one number, and that's the 2x. That means that the top 10% of the digitalization adopters, so the 10% fastest movers, are doing the digitalization 2 times faster than growing 2 times faster in terms of business. That means these 10% are growing 2 times faster than the lower end, and that really means not only making things cheaper, making things less costly, but it really means you're growing your business faster. Yeah, but why is not everybody doing this? Why is this not the thing that just goes like that? It's because we still have in the nowadays world a lot of disconnected legacy systems. We have old systems still working fine in some cases, and there's no real need to change them from a business perspective, but it makes the overall digitalization very difficult. We have poor user experience, and I'm not only talking about user experience of your users sitting at a PC, and it's also the people on the shop floor, but also people, also your customers. If you're B2C or a B2B client, your customers many times have a not so good experience if they interact with you and your services. Lack of agile tools. Nowadays, we all have to be faster in the manufacturing industry because a machine cannot be tested end to end and being 100% as it's shipped and from till the end of life. We have IT in these machines, so they need updates and much faster ways of designing things. And of course, overall, as a company, we still we see at our clients also a lot of manual and siloed processes. That leads us to the point that we see, that's our position, that we see that continuing to digitalize in silos won't deliver the experience that your stakeholders expect. So the thing is, what we see as part of digital production is connecting your critical workflows on a single system will help you with that. And that's really where we can help, where we as ServiceNow can help and drive the digitalization of your thing. What we can do is a lot, and what our clients do is a lot. I already spoke about the thing about the customers. They want to have new experiences. They want to approach your services, use your services as they are used at home from consumer services. Suppliers and partners must do real-time collaboration. The COVID crisis just showed us how fragile these supply chains are. So we need systems that the partners that are interacting in the supply chain can react faster on breakages, on delays, whatever. We just see it at the Suez Channel. Where when things go wrong, we have to interact quickly and don't have to wait till the normal process phase. It's part where I don't speak today that much is about the workforce. We help our clients and we help governments protecting the workforce or protecting the citizen. The state of North Rhine-Westphalia here in Germany, they are using our platform to interact and integrate their vaccine management. So they interact with the system, with the different vaccination centers and the suppliers that deliver the vaccination. And then, of course, we help you to be more productive and efficient with the core, with your core operations by integrating the different systems we have in the shop floor, in the backend systems. And we help you getting your OT and IT infrastructure more visible, connected, and secure. And don't get us wrong here. We are not a classical IoT platform. I've given this explanation on the show yesterday. We are the one that goes one step later, that's not really interacting with the sensors, but it's connecting the different data sources you have. Yeah, and how we do this, and this is a little bit a very big slide, but we have to read. I always explain it from the bottom line. We are a system of action. That means we are the one that wants where the interaction, where the action can take place. But that means if we are the system of action, we still need a system of record. Of course, we can record things. Of course, we have a service database, but still, your company, we will never replace an ERP system. We will never replace the OT systems that run on your shop floor. But we connect with these systems. We connect with the classical IT system, if it's an Amazon Web Services, if it's Azure, if it's Splunk, or of course, where many customers are probably already using ServiceNow for IT service management. We connect with these systems. With customer service management, of course, we connect if it's us or if it's Salesforce. We connect with the OT and IoT systems. So if we have a PTC system there or Azure, we connect with these and get the meaningful information out of it. I can continue, but you can see it on the slides. We are then really the platform that that connects with all these data sources, having one central workflow system across all the workflow and integration system across all these system of records. We have one central service database. We call it common service database, or CMDB, as it was in more an IT term. We have one knowledge base helping all the people in interacting with the system, getting all the required information. We have AI and analytics capability, but that does not mean that you have to throw your development in R or Watson away. We can take these data and bring it to action and make sure that things are happening. And of course, we have across all these capabilities one developer tool set. So your IT don't have to learn new topics to integrate with the whole thing. And of course, we have powered by us. We have powered by our workflow engine. We have our workflows that we bring ready-made for you to use, and this can be IT, employee, customer, manufacturing. And then we also offer our clients, our partners, and you the whole power of the platform to develop our own solutions. And the most important thing, if talked about experiences and the customers and the stakeholders, they all can access the whole power of the platform by the best possible experience. So we have a mobile app that even works offline. We have a mobile app, for example, I just talked yesterday to a mining client. They can use our mobile app down in the mines where they don't have a network connection. So a field technician have to fix a convoy belt that's reported itself via IoT. Can go down to the mine without a network connection and get all the information, because it's of course before, and get all the information to fix this convoy belt, for example. Of course, we have web and we also interact with your teams, with your clients where they want and where they're used to it. For example, Slack, Facebook Messenger, Teams, we interact with them. And the most important thing, we bring the whole system of records that you already have with one central platform to life. Yeah, that's basically it from the moment. Do you have any questions? And I think I'm again quite good on timing.
Yeah, you are perfectly. You hit the spot to put it this way. Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Heimann, for your presentation. Indeed, I would like to ask you a few questions, if you agree.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe a first thing, you were talking about the poor user experience in the beginning. When looking at the experience of the shop floor persons working on the shop floor,
yeah.
Do you see any increase? Where we are talking about Industry 4.0 around about 10 years now, do things getting any better, or is it still a big problem?
We can help you getting it better. Of course, we still have the problem that also with same we had in IT 20 years ago, we have different interfaces. So the person working on the shop floor has to know the different interfaces and have to know which machine has to be used one. We help them with adapting that technology. For example, Heineken, one of our manufacturing clients, they use ServiceNow to to cover all the different processes with the different breweries they purchased. So a shop and worker don't have to know exactly how this machine in brewery X have to work, because ServiceNow is there right at the place with one user interface, and he can report if something goes wrong, and gets the information for this particular engine he's in front of. And of course, Heineken can use the information to see probably they have a problem across different breweries, even if they use different machines and different even levels of machines. Some may be connected, some not, but ServiceNow helps you with that challenge.
This sounds good. Yeah, thank you. You were talking about your mobile app and that is working offline. Did I get you right that it is no problem if my internet connection fails or if I have connection problems? It's running even if there's no stable or reliable internet connection, right?
Yes, of course, you have to have it once that the app. If you imagine you're a field service agent, of course, at some point in time you need the connection because it's sync. But later on, if you're, for example, we also had a use case of vehicles being in that big ships that run through the Suez Channel. They check while the ship is already off the harbor if everything is correct. They report if something has been broken while putting the cars onside that ship, and you have no connection there because it's offshore and it's also deep down in that ship hull.
Okay. Yeah, great. And one last one. You were talking about servitization at the beginning. What does this mean in detail for you? What challenges I am facing, and how can you help me?
Yeah, the most obvious one is that you don't have like that many providers don't have one place. So if you start to ship your say a compressor to your client and he has some problem with it. Of course, maybe he has an URL where can he log on and see how many hours, how many cubic meters this compressor delivered air. And probably you have a number where he can call if you have a problem. But all this coming all together, we can help in there. We can use the technology that's already out there to provide these users one experience where they can log on, where they can see, okay, I need to do an update with this with my machine 1. Machine B has a problem or even decrease of service level. And we are bringing this all together, and we are helping also not only the client to make his action at this portal, also the agents in the back end to have all this information from the different system at the time and at the point where they need it.
Okay, I see. Yeah, well then, I think there's no further question in the chat. Again, let me give you the hint to get in contact with Mr. Hyman via our platform.
Yes.
Mr. Hyman, thank you again for your presentation.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
Okay, and wish you all the best for the last 2 days of Hannover Messe, and good luck to you and all of you from your company. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Well then, let's hand over to our second presentation for today. It is HCL, and we are handing over to Raj Pachmarai. Just give us a few seconds for upload the connection, and we will go on in a few seconds. Yeah, I can even see him. Raj, can you hear me now? Okay. Yeah, there he is.
Yeah.
Raj, welcome. Welcome to our guided tour. Thank you for being here and in advance for your presentation. So the stage is yours.
Thank you, Bernard. I'm just requesting Yuan's help to project the screen.
Yeah. Would you please switch over to the screen sharing button, which is here, and just tap on upload and we will see your screen.
Okay. I had requested Yuan to share. Just give me a minute, please.
Yeah, you're absolutely welcome. The audience is listening and we're waiting until the connection is made.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Okay, thank you, Yuan.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yeah. So good afternoon, good evening, good morning to all the listeners. Thank you, Bernard, for giving us the opportunity to present HCL's connected ecosystems solutions. HCL, let's go to the next slide, please. HCL is a 40-plus-year-old company. One of the garage startups of the 70s, and today, we are a $10 billion company. One of the world's top employers. Number one employer in India and number 30 worldwide, with multiple recognitions. We are serving customers in 50 countries, and our employees are from those countries primarily. We are proud to say that we have 157 nationalities represented among our employees, among the 159,000 employees. The fastest growing technology company over the last 4 years, and we provide support to multiple customers in different industry verticals. Let's move to the next slide, please. HCL supports customers in three main business areas. One is the IT and business services, where we support customers in their digital transformation journey, in their IT infrastructure and the backbone. So we provide the foundation for customers moving on to the 21st century economy and 21st century businesses. We help them transform and help them run their operations as well, all in digital mode. The second business is engineering and R&D services, where we provide critical support to the product development, product operations, Industry 4.0, and the overlaid services and monetization of all the digital assets customers have built over the years. And the third is the products and platforms. So we have multiple IP products, across the entire organizational functions. And over the years, we have released 450 product releases, in various product platforms. So all of these are geared towards helping the customers realize the full potential. Let's move on to the next, please. So how do we help customers realize the full value? So HCL, while we have our strengths and solutions, it's all about bringing the best of the best to customers, and that is where we bring the entire ecosystem to play, and we are all about turning solutions into profits and products into profits for the customer. So, and profits come late is also not a good thing. So time to profit is important. So in this slide, you see the the entire value chain, right from the supplier side, to the to the right side, where go all the way to the customers, suppliers to customers. And here you can see at various stages, we bring in solutions that increase the time and increase the reliability of what we bring to the table and what customer is supposed to deliver to their customers. So that is how we are driving the user, asset, and service value chains into a more productive area. So the engineering services of HCL, while doing the engineering, product development, adoption of Industry 4.0 and agile areas, the customer experience is also key. So time to develop, time to scale, time to respond, and time to value are very important aspects that are being monitored and then fine-tuned as we move along. So those are the digital aspects we bring to the table, and how we create value for our customers. So you might ask, how do we do that? So I think the next slide would show what are the things we do, and how do we enable customers or complement our customers, create all these value. The next slide, please. Oops.
I guess you kicked you out yourself.
Did we lose connection?
Start once again your screen sharing. Raj, would you please start once again your screen share? You kicked yourself out. We can still hear you, but we can't see your screen anymore.
Right. I'm taking the help of Yuan.
Okay. Will you tap once again on the screen sharing button, the blue one you see on the right side, and show us your screen again?
Yeah, I see some chat saying there are some issues. So.
Okay, so we lost your colleague, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But I can see her again. Yeah, there she is. Okay.
There is another screen share.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah. So I was talking about how do we do this? So it's here we are looking at three areas. Bernard. One is what we call the IP creation. It's all about connected products today. Right? No longer is there a dumb product in the market today. Nobody wants to buy a dumb product. Everybody wants a connected and smart product. So we help customers create born digital products or retrofits to make existing equipment smarter. So those are things we do in the IP creation area, and we do that across multiple industries and across the various product functions. Earlier a product was just a mechanical piece of equipment. Today you have software running most of the equipment. There are millions of lines of code running the products. Even though the outward look is still a mechanical product. So we bring in all those aspects from the connected product side, and we call it IP creation for our customers. The second part, the middle bar area, is where we help the connected operations. So the plant operations, the connected design, manufacturing 4.0, supply chain 4.0, procurement, aftermarket services. All of those are part of connected operations, and we bring in, our solutions as well as a combination of, partner solutions, to improve the operations aspect of, the customers. And the third one is monetization. So that's where all the value realization is. So those are through the services. There are multiple platforms. You have your base foundational platforms for, from the the Amazons, Azures, Googles, and those kind of platforms. On top of that, you have your the automation platforms, like your Siemens, Schneider, ABB. So those platforms, and on top of that, you have your customers building their own value applications. So we help customers in each of these different layers, either implementing what they already have, or moving what they already have to these new generation platforms. So those are being done with, and in the bottom you see those solution frameworks. So those are the various things we do, and the solution frameworks are all about accelerating what we do. These are not new today. So people have heard about PLM. You have heard about design for manufacturing. That is the second one. DFM Pro. ROST is real-time online supply chain tracking. So all of these are not new topics, but what we are doing is, through our automation solutions, making them, faster, more reliable, quicker to implement. So that goes back to, time to profit. Let's move to the next slide, please. So here we have categorized those solutions into what do each of these solutions do. So in the connected product, the IP products, it's we talked about all about connected products, correct? So here, whether it is on-demand PLM, which is the PLM on cloud, we talk about, it helps in leveraging the customer's cost efficiency, or DFM Pro. DFM Pro is the current CAD tools help the geometry checking, but there is not much of validation of manufacturability of the design. So the DFM Pro helps in manufacturability validation when the designer is doing the design. So those, so that's a very important aspect of what we do in DFM Pro. Very early in the cycle, when the concepts are still being put on the CAD design tool, you are able to catch manufacturing problems. Whether a chamfer is too sharp, making the wall thickness smaller, or you have a whole location which is too close to the edge, or some of the design aspects which are costly to manufacture. It's not that we cannot manufacture something, but the costlier it is, where the function is not being utilized by the product, is unnecessary cost. So you might as well get it done in a more easier design manner. So those are ways we help in the connected products, easier to manufacture. Then coming to connected operations, ROST is the schedule prediction. How do you ensure on-time delivery? So this is very important in today's scenario, where there are supply chain disruptions all across. You saw COVID disruptions, and these disruptions could be seen using this ROS solution. So you are not waiting for the customer to tell you where the shipment is, or when it is getting done. So this is 80 to 90% automated. So the end customer is able to see the supply chain visibility into your suppliers' network. Sometimes, in a fully automated factory, they're able to see even where the product is in the factory. So that is how this ROST helps. Unmanned end-of-line inspection. This is a optomechanical inspection, very reliable, and very fast. So these are important to make sure the speed at the end of your production is increased. Mintvisor, again, looks at what are the disruptions in the factory. So Mintvisor is a solution which is from one of our partners, and we are co-IP of this product. It tracks the assets in your factory, making sure the throughput is increased. So those are how we help in making sure the operations are smooth and streamlined. And connected service is all about AI, ML, making sure all the data you receive from these various sources are monetized. So you can look at all the data. AI.on is a AI tool where you can get real-time insights on any kind of operations within your tool. XR is applicable in aftermarket services. You can use it in monitoring of field problems, helping service people resolve it in one visit to customers, rather than multiple visits. So those are productivity improvements, key customer satisfaction improvement areas. By with one visit of your service technician, you're able to solve the problem using some of these new tools. And digital engineering center is all about bringing these things together in one location. So those are some ways we help our customers realize the full value. So that's all I had for the session today. So in summary, it's all about back to time to profit, time to value. So all these solutions help customers increase productivity, throughput, reliability, in an automated manner. So that's our thought for the day. Hope this was helpful to our listeners, and any questions, I'll be glad to take that.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much, Raj. Yeah, indeed. Maybe I can ask you just two questions that came to my mind during your presentation. You were talking about one of your services called extended reality. Just one question, do I need special equipments? Do I have to invest in goggles or cameras, or how do you operate with this extended reality, augmented reality thing?
It's it definitely uses some of the camera-based images. But the way we see that is differs from the use case to use case. Mm-hmm. For example, in a equipment service use case, each equipment when it goes out of the factory, or even later, is you have a QR code or a barcode which is associated with that particular equipment, which stores all the data about the equipment. When it was installed, what are the changes that were done. All that is available in the QR code. And once the technician goes there, he scans that. It's almost like a service person sitting in front of his laptop and looking at the history of that equipment. So that is available to the service technician by just scanning the code. So he sees what was done by the previous technician during the previous visit, and then he's able to know the current status of the equipment, and then perform the related support or the service, fix the problem. So this is from a typical service type of a use case, and most of the XR is today being used on very costly equipment for training. So training is a big expense, and in the olden days, the training of any new version of the equipment, whether it's a simple software upgrade to the to the equipment, even though the rest of the functionality is the same, people had to come to the classroom, or a CBT used to be developed. Then everybody has to sit and then learn things like that. So those are being eliminated with the XR type of solutions. So people can just look at what is new, what is changed, and pick up the new functionality very, very quickly, and at their own pace and time. So it is not restricted. You don't have to take people away from their regular 8-hour job to do this knowledge upgrade. So those basically, to answer your question, all those are possible, but it's not a necessity. It's based on the use case which you're supporting.
Okay, so different use cases, of course, different approaches, and this means as well you're not specialized on a dedicated sector of industry. You're just having your service, and it is made for every case that you're working with, right? You're not specialized.
Yeah, we have some solutions, which are ready to deploy, 80% ready to deploy. So those are the foundation for the training is available. Okay. So you have the it's available on the key equipment which is out there. Whether it is PTC's ThingWorx platform, or any of the Azure platforms, all those platforms, we have some solutions which can be turned on quickly.
Perfect.
Converted to the customer's requirements.
Great. So Raj, thank you so much for your presentation and answering our questions. I wish you all the best for the last 2 days of Hannover Messe. Good luck to you and your team, and thank you so much.
Thank you, and apologies for the technical difficulties. Thanks for the help.
Okay, then, the audience, let's go over to our next presentation. We're handing over to Formlabs, and Pierre Cavot. Pierre, can you hear us?
Hear me?
Yeah, there he is.
Lovely. So,
hello, Pierre.
I hope you can see me as well.
We can see you. Yes, perfect.
Lovely.
Yeah, the stage is yours. Go on.
All right. So let me share my screen. All right. Can you see the presentation clearly? Great.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Yes, we can. Please start.
Lovely. So thank you for having me. So my name is Pierre. I'm basically in charge of business development for the EMEA region. So that's Europe, Middle East, Africa. And today I'm going to be speaking about the combination of digital manufacturing alongside digital twins. And we're going to be speaking about that through a few real-world case studies. So before we move on to this, I'd like to give a quick introduction to Formlabs. So tell a bit who we are and what we do. So at Formlabs, we create reliable 3D printers, so high precision and high performance 3D printers for professionals. So we're already quite well established in the market, and maybe some of you who are already familiar with additive manufacturing know a bit about our printers that you can see over here. However, our goal at Formlabs is not just the production of manufacturing equipment. It's really about expanding the access to digital fabrication so that anyone, or at least as many people as possible, can produce as many things as possible. So a few numbers about our company. So now at Formlabs, we have over 500 people since the inception of the company about 10 years ago. We're spread out through 7 offices in different continents in North America, in Europe, but also in Asia. We manufacture our goods through 3 factories in USA, China, and Hungary. And amongst our 500 plus people, we actually have a lot of technical people, over 150 of them, including some of the world's leading additive manufacturing specialists. And so far, we've sold over 50,000 printers, which have enabled the creation of over 40 million parts. Oh, sorry, it skipped. Technical issue over here. Hope I didn't spoil the presentation. So since last year, we've actually started doing more for our enterprise customers, and by creating something called factory solutions. So this is really about enabling digital manufacturing at a larger scale. And factory solutions are comprised of Formlabs products, but also a team of expert consultants to advise and guide our customers, as well as for certain projects, customer research and development. So the goal of the factory solutions is really to be able to provide the advantages of 3D printing at a wider scale, namely mass customization, the ability to produce complex shapes that are not always possible through other means of manufacturing, flexibility in terms of supply chain, of course, and speed to market, and of course, the ability to have a digital inventory rather than a physical one. So through the Factory Solutions program, we actually enabled, throughout the COVID pandemic, the creation of several manufacturing infrastructures for the production of nasopharyngeal swabs. So these are the COVID test swabs used during the PCR tests. So these factories are actually customer owned, and basically were set up across the world in different locations: North America, Asia, Europe. And these were all set up in a very short time frame to help alleviate the medical supply shortages that the world was facing back towards the first half of last year. So these were, again, set up in a matter of months very rapidly and allowed the manufacturers to produce millions of swabs within just a few months. So today, we will focus on 2 of these factories, Precision ADM in Winnipeg, Canada, and IIoT along with its partners in Singapore. Both of these factories have been remotely supported by us through our headquarters in Somerville, Massachusetts, as well as our subsidiary Spectra Polymers in Ohio in the USA. So the challenge is when you have manufacturing entities at different locations of the world, sometimes very far apart, how are you able to support them in a timely fashion? And how are you able to resolve any issues that may occur as fast as possible? This is where the concept of digital twins with digital manufacturing comes in. So one of the great advantages of 3D printers is that they're actually relatively small and modular manufacturing units. As you can see over here, this is the Form 3 printer model, which was heavily used, or at least a biocompatible version, for the production of the swabs. So these are single machines that can create a wide array of objects. Objects and models that are fed to them digitally. So particularly Formlabs, again, have a compact and modular form factor. And a factory can have actually over 100 of these working at the same time to produce high volumes of goods. This means such factories can actually be set up relatively quickly, and more importantly, can be scaled up very easily just by adding additional production capacity. So on top of having this ease of setup and rapidity in installation, you can actually also change the production very easily. All you need is to feed in a different digital format or file. So what we have done is effectively create digital twin factories, multiple factories that were set up across different parts of the world with the same hardware and with a shared workflow. So excuse me. So this enabled manufacturing processes that were established in one part of the world to be fed digitally across another entity in a completely different location. So what you see over here, this is our custom sample printing installation in a high-end USA at Spectra Photopolymers. At the peak of the swab shortages induced by the pandemic, we actually rapidly switched production to create nasopharyngeal swabs. So the nasopharyngeal swabs that were produced are basically in this format. So they're basically biocompatible swabs created in a photopolymer produced by us. And so when we started this is where we developed the processes and workflow for the productions of those 3D printed swabs. And this became the foundation of the next digital swab factories. So what you see over here is Precision ADM, established in Winnipeg, Canada. Then they used over 100 Formlabs printers to produce a slightly different model of swab called the Canada swab. And basically, we supported them from our headquarters and our subsidiary in the production of hundreds of thousands of pieces every month. What you see over here is a similar installation, this time in Singapore, established by I2I and their partners. So as you can see, all the manufacturing units are the same and based on this Form 3 printer. And finally, what you see over here is a more formal installation that we have established at our HQ for swab production with over, again, 100 printers, 100 SLA printers. So overall, you can see that all of these factories have similar base units, similar modular 3D printers, and therefore can easily exchange workflows from one to another. And here you can see an example of how this has helped for the manufacturing of the swabs throughout its different facilities. So what you see over here is actually curing jig. Now, to explain a bit the concept, if you're familiar with stereolithography 3D printing, you know that it's a process that operates on the hardening of a liquid resin through a UV laser. Now, after the printing is done, you actually need to post-cure those parts in a dedicated curing oven. So actually, I can show this right over here. Now, because we're dealing with hundreds of swabs printed on every single platform, the curing phase posed a bit of a problem. And therefore, it was quite difficult to lay out the swabs efficiently at each curing phase. So this is something we worked on at our subsidiary in Ohio, and basically created a jig that could either be 3D printed or machined in order to lay out those swabs and have an effective and efficient post-curing process. And this knowledge was very easily transferred to our customers in other parts of the world so that they could replicate this workflow and ensure that their own production benefited from this optimization. Another aspect that you can see over here is when it comes to QC, or in this case, quality assurance. Now, of course, when it comes to the setting up of a production facility, it's never perfect, and you always have a few issues to address along the way. But thanks to this physical digital twin that we had back in our facilities, we could help our customers in Singapore troubleshoot whatever issues they were facing by replicating their exact workflow in our own facilities. And this enabled us to address this much quicker because we were working around the clock without having ever to displace physically any of the components from one side to another. So this basically sums it up for my presentation. If you have any question, now's the time. So before we move on, if you need any more information on Factory Solutions and how we help set up these manufacturing facilities, please feel free to reach us at factorysolutions@formlabs.com, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for your presentation. Time's running, but let me ask just one question. Could you summarize maybe in 2 or 3 words again, why choose SLA over different other 3D printing technologies?
Okay. Well, there are various, as you may know, there's various other mainstream 3D printing technologies these days. There's FDM, there's SLA, there's SLS, which we also do. Mm-hmm. And SLA has its unique advantages when it comes to end-use products. One of the main one being the accuracy and the surface finish that is provided by the technology. Most consumers are used to parts that are plastic injection molded, which, as you know, provide a very smooth surface finish and a very qualitative aspect. However, SLA comes very close in that regard. And so while SLA is not the only technology you can consider for mass production, it's one that is very attractive for this particular reason.
Okay, I see. Yeah, well then, as I can see, there's no further question now in the chat. I would recommend once again to get in contact with Pierre or Formlabs itself via our business dating service at our platform. So Pierre, thank you once again for your presentation.
Thank you, everyone.
All the best for you for the next 2 days, and good luck to your company and your colleagues. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Have a great day.
Perfect. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, we are handing over to the last speaker for today. It is ViewFrame and Mr. Zeidler. Mr. Zeidler, are you with us?
Yes, hello, and good afternoon. Can everybody hear me?
There you are. Hello. Thank you so much for being here, and yeah, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Bernard. So what I want to do today with you is a little bit different. Now we heard a lot of interesting talks about user experience, about digital factories, about 3D printing. I want to show you something today that helps you as a company show off all these innovative solutions that you put into your production at a trade show like Hannover Messe. And for that, I think I should be sharing my screen. I don't know if that's already visible.
Yes, it is. Go ahead.
Perfect. So what I want to show you is how you can actually showcase your company in a virtual way at an event like Hannover Messe. And as we are an exhibitor ourselves, as a German startup focused on 3D and augmented reality, we thought about how we can best position ourselves in a digital virtual trade show like Hannover Messe, where there's all these big companies which have unlimited budgets to actually get the best speaking slots and all of that. So what we actually did is we used our software platform to create a virtual showroom for our company. And I want to show you quickly what that looks like. And I want to invite you to visit our showroom and talk to me and my team about how you could do this as well for your company and showcase your innovative products, your innovative processes, your innovative factory floors all across the world at virtual events like Hannover Messe. So what I did here, I opened a browser and I just went to hm21.uframe.com. And after it loads a little bit, I can enter this real-time 3D showroom. This showroom is basically a 3D virtual space like any computer game, which allows me to display information about our products. So here I can show how the ViewFrame platform takes any sort of 3D CAD file and turns it into an interactive 3D picture you can use for sales and marketing. And then we can actually not only read about that, we can look at it as well. So here, for example, we have a 3D virtual robot based on a CAD blueprint, which we just published to a virtual showroom we created using the ViewFrame software. And then you can also see here, my colleague Michael has already chatted with me. He noticed that I entered the showroom and I asked him to actually pay attention to me entering the showroom. So what I can do now is I can get a live consultation in this virtual showroom about this product. I just say hi to Michael and then he gives me a quick ring and we can immediately start chatting via audio or even via video in this virtual showroom and talk about this product. And this can work for any product. It can be an industrial product, it can be a manufacturing product, it can be your factory floor that you have in 3D. And just like that, you use a virtual event like Hannover Messe to actually speak to prospective customers. Hi, Michael. To speak to prospective customers and to customers you already have. And you can even take this one step farther. Now Michael can send me what's called a co-browsing invitation. And if I accept that, he can actually show me the product. So he takes control of my browser and he can show me the product and he can explain the product to me. So now we entered this co-browsing mode. And now I can see Michael, I'm not doing anything. He's explaining to me, okay, there's a little robot. He can actually navigate me through the showroom. And all of that just within the browser in the context of this digital virtual exhibition that we are all part of. So that's just a little bit of an example of what's possible. I'm going to say goodbye to Michael now and take it again. Thank you, Michael, for your help. We can also do a lot of different things. For example, we can very easily show machines at different scales. So we have this big industrial machine, which is like 5 meters across or something like that. And we can show that as a miniature in our virtual showroom. Obviously, we can also take that because it's a virtual space. We can also take it in real size. So you can play around with the real space and in the virtual space. There's no cost to it. You have an unlimited virtual world where you can take your products and showcase them. You can link all different sorts of content you already have. For example, here we have the press release for this company signing a 5-year contract for our technology. And you can also have interactive parts. So we have a live stream about this showroom coming up where you can sign up and you can watch it in this virtual space. Then, of course, the products can also be interactive. So I don't only show the product, but I also put the information that a prospect or a lead actually needs to understand my product. I can put it right into this 3D environment. So I can see, okay, I can have different attachments for this product. I can have instructional videos, and I can link different websites. And all of that just with a couple of clicks. I turn my virtual event into a completely new experience. You can download our app right now, and obviously you can visit us, hm21@viewframe.com. You will also find us at the exhibitor floor in the exhibitor directory. And I hope I did you all a favor by not using my time exactly, but just finishing a little bit early. And with that, I thank you for the attention. My name was Andreas. I'm founder and CEO at ViewFrame. Come visit us virtually and enjoy the rest of Hannover Messe. Stay safe, and I hope to see you soon.
Well, Andreas, thank you so much. To be honest, it looks to me like the both of us had to talk afterwards. If I see what you made in this virtual showroom, but just give me one or two questions. Is there any way, or is it? Can I show in this showroom any complexity, or is there any frontier?
Well, the core that what my company is good at is actually that about 5 years ago, when we founded the company, we came from the gaming industry, and the gaming industry is very good at making huge amounts of data fit onto very small pieces of technology. Like in the past, when I spent 10 years in the games industry, we used to ship games on CD and DVD, so it needed to be a certain file size. And the core of what our software does is it makes CAD files compact, pretty, and secure. So we can strip up to 97% of the complexity and file size from a CAD file, completely automated, and we still get a photorealistic, high fidelity 3D image, which we can then ship for sales and marketing purposes. And the best part about that is it not only gets small, it also gets secure, because usually CAD files, they contain all your proprietary information, your patents, all the measurements. If a CAD file leaks, your competitors can just copy your product. So we take all of that and wrap it into this hugely potent cloud platform where you just upload your files and then you create something like what I just showed you with a couple of clicks. And it's virtually no limits to what you can do because of this compression algorithm that we actually developed.
Okay. And do you have a quick short showcase for us, not connected to showrooms, but to the industry? Is there anything you can tell us from?
I'm actually not prepared for that right now, so I can't pull anything up very quickly. But obviously, I invite you all to look us up. The company is called ViewFrame. We're part of the Hannover Messe, and just come talk to us. You see, it's just a couple of clicks away. You can actually speak to a human being here at Hannover Messe Digital, and we can show some examples there.
That's absolutely right, correct. You're part of the big amount of our exhibitors, and we can all invite you to visit them afterwards. Then one question for the end. Can you tell us something about the way to transfer the data to the showroom, to the virtual showroom?
It's just you get you purchase the software, you get a login, and you just upload it. Everything else is automated. That's it. It's really that simple.
Well, that's a very short, a very precise answer. And yeah, with this, we are at the end. Andreas, once again, thank you so much for your presentation.
Bernard,
all the best
thank you.
for you and your company, and hope to see you sometime on Hannover Messe.
Thank you. Bye-bye all.
Well, everybody, then we're at the end of this year's guided tours, of today's guided tours. I thank you so much for being with us. I wish you all the best for the upcoming future. I hope you enjoy this guided tour, and hope you enjoy Hannover Messe. We'll be there for you today and tomorrow. So join in and visit us at hannovermesse.de or .com. Thank you so much for your attention today, and good luck. Bye-bye.